So this is the back of the unit. It's pretty simple, not much to know. I was just gonna let you know that your backup camera is up there. It's a little bit adjustable, so you can kind of move it around where you want to move it around. The LED lights on the outside of the unit are also controlled from inside of the unit. I'll show you how those work once we go inside of the unit. If you bend down with me here, you can see underneath your storage rear rack, you have your sewer hookup. So this is going to be where you hook up to dump your tanks at. Right here, they labeled it nicely, color-coded it, so you have your gray tank and you have your black tank. Of course, they're both going to be empty, and they're going to be empty upon arrival. Okay, now we're here on the passenger side of the unit. There's not as much stuff as there is on the driver's side of the unit, so it's pretty simple. Right down here, just the same as your other water fill connections, this is going to be your Sani flush. So on a regular travel trailer, you'll have a regular hose nozzle to fill into, and that'll shoot water into your black tank to help clean it out. That's what this is. Instead of having a shower head, it just directly fills up your black tank, so you can keep it flowing, keep the water in there, and keep it nice and hydrated, so that way when you're ready to flush it, there's no problems like that. So as we move down the unit a little bit more, you have an outdoor kitchen table. So this is just a little flop down table. I would go over the keys and what unlocks it in the key section. And then right next to the table, you have a 110 outlet, and you also have a 12-volt car plug. So if you want to set up some stuff outside, you got a little TV, hook it up to 110. If you need 12 volt, you got 12 volt out here too. As we move down the unit more, I'll go over the step and other stuff on another part of this. You have your solar sensor wall light. It's just exactly what it says it is. You put your hand over it, or it sees darkness, it's going to turn on. You can of course turn that off, so it'll be off and it won't actually work, but keep it on. In the nighttime, the light will turn on, so you kind of have an entry light. As we move down into our compartments, right here you have your pass-through compartment, right? So that's going to go back to that other part where we saw our 110 side on the other side. So this is your pass-through. You got tons of space, tons of storage. As far as your other compartment, this is going to be your outdoor kitchen. So you have these two blue knobs right here. You have to press both of them down in order for the table to come out. The table's going to come out pretty dang far. You got a flop out table. I don't know if we'll have enough room to use it. Oh, we do. All right. Super nice. Love these things. They're awesome. But they're not hooked up. So you have to hook them up yourself. So I'll go ahead and show you that. You got your stove top right here. You got your sink over there. If you open up this little compartment right here, you can see underneath here, you got your drain for your sink. It's just a nice little hose, like if you're at like a fishing station, right? So, and then right behind it, you also have a propane line that they want you to pull out. Just pull out through this little compartment, this little underneath section. And then if you move the camera right around to here, you're gonna see that you have a quick propane hookup and you have a quick water connection. Perfect, perfect. So you're gonna see the propane hookup. Wait until that clips. And then you got your water spout connection, just sits in the sink right there. I always plug it into the actual sink first, that way you don't spray water in your face. And then you come down underneath here and hook that up to your water section, and now you got propane and water to your outdoor kitchen. Go ahead and leave that out. I don't know if my pumps are on. I'll go ahead and test it out in a little bit and we'll show you how it all works. So this piece will come with your outdoor kitchen. It is basically just an adjustable leg. So it's got a little locking piece. You want to do that, it's going to unlock, and it's also got a magnetic tip. So right underneath the base of the stove here, there's a little magnet plate, and you can see. Yeah, perfect. I'm just going to bring it up to it and bring it down to the ground and kind of give a little push and then lock it in place. And that gives us our stability and support, so you don't have this all just hanging out by itself, right? Now I turned on the pump inside so you can see that your water works.
Very nice.
Clean and nice. And then your stovetop, just like with any other propane system, it takes a long time for propane to air out the lines. So I'm going to be sitting here starting this for a good few minutes. We'll pause it and come back once it's actually started. All right, now that we got the air on the line, it should be just as simple as holding it on the light, pressing your igniter just a few short times. Boom. That's that one. Over here on the right side, a few short times. There you go.
So now all the air is out of the line.
Now all the air is out of the line. You can turn it up to high, you can bring it down to low. whatever you want to do, turn them off. All right, so when you're putting away this outdoor kitchen, it's going to start going by itself, but it does have a stopping point. You do have to press these knobs down in order for it to go fully in. All right, and this is going to be your awning system. So this remote is going to sit up inside of the unit with a lot of your other remotes. It doesn't have an open or a close, so you kind of just have to play with it and figure out what when it does it. So I'm going to go ahead and press it. Didn't work. Press it the other way. And then it finally works. So it kind of, everything in these Black Series, they kind of go into a sleep mode. So you got to kind of give them a few presses for the system to kind of wake up and realize that it's trying to work. Now these awnings don't have any actual arms connected to the walls like regular trailers do. It's a different style. So there's a lot of play. Don't be weary. They're meant to be able to do that and fall down at that angle like that. I won't be able to fully extend it in the section that we're in here, but I'll show you how it works. So you can go ahead and pause it wherever you want it at. If you don't want it fully out, you can go ahead and stop it with that middle button. Now if you come up underneath the unit here, underneath the awning, you see your legs are going to be tucked away up in here. So I've had some problems with these. It's very brittle plastic. You can break them very easily. So the nicest way to bring out these legs I found is to start from the end, bring out the foot. I put my hand up in between it, and I use my hand as leverage, and it pulls out the bottom part of it. And it swings out, and then if you come over here to this side, you can see there's a little tiny plastic knob, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You're gonna drop that all the way down, and then you're gonna pick up on the arm, and that's gonna raise your height of the awning. And then we're gonna come do it to this side as well. Right, pull out the foot, put my hand in between it, use the leverage, pop out. Bada bing, bada boom. Same thing. And you got your awning. I usually like to keep the awning at a little bit of an angle. Don't bring it level on both sides because your water is going to start puddling up top. So if you leave one leg just a little bit lower than the other leg, you're going to have it draining off the correct way. All right, now we'll work our way up inside of the unit. So to start you off, I'm going to let you know the safety features that come in this bad boy. So right here at your front entrance / exit, you have your fire extinguisher, of course. You gotta have it, gotta love it. So if you wanna work your way up in here with me, Michael, you're gonna see, we're gonna point out the other safety features. You got your smoke detector, and then right underneath your dinette, back in the corner, you have your propane and carbon monoxide detector. So those are your 3 safety features that come in all trailers, all motorhomes, all RVs. Gotta have them, gotta love them. All right, so after the safety features, we're just gonna run down all of your lighting, all of your switches, where to turn on everything at, minus the appliances. We'll go on to the appliances afterwards. So right up here at your front entrance, this is where your awning remote is gonna be sitting. Bada bing. And then right above it, you're gonna have this one singular button. Now these are all battery operated switches. So if they die and they don't work, it's because your battery died and you'll need to get new batteries for them. So you have these 3 different control panels right here. This main one is just a simple battery disconnect. So as you see, all the lights and everything shut off inside of the unit. It's basically just a 12-volt disconnect. If you turn the camera over to there, you're gonna see, even though the 12-volt is disconnected, the television is still on. You're still hooked up to 110. You still have your 110 from your inverter, so you're still good on your microwave and your television. It won't shut off that. It's mainly just 12-volt system, right? Turn that back on. All of our lights are going to turn back on. The 3 switches above it are going to be your interior lights. So the first one is going to do the main 3-4 lights above your kitchen and dinette. And then the middle one is going to do the LED strip above those lights. And then the third one is going to do your skylight. Now your skylight does have a button on it, so if you want, you can turn that off independently without the monitor, but we just leave it on and you control it from the button over here. And then the 3 switches above it, I don't know specifically, they're all kind of random when they do them. These all do the exterior lights, all the LED lights on each top end, front, side, and back. One of them's gonna do 2, one of them's gonna do 1, and one of them's gonna do the other. So they do all 4, right? That's it. That's for your lighting system on this side. If we back up just a little bit, follow me onto the bed over here. You have 2 more buttons over here. You got two more little light switches. One of them is going to do your closet lights, and then the other one is going to do your LED lights. Now you do have a remote for the LED lights, so you can control what color, what you want it to be, but there is a disconnect for that, so you can turn that on and off. Okay, now you got two more switches, this one and then one in the bathroom. So this one on your entryway, it's a little bit different. So what it's going to do is your first one, it's going to control this Black Series light emblem, and this light emblem is also controlled by the door. You have a door magnet, so if you have this Black Series light on, it will shut off when your door closes, and it will turn on when your door opens. This middle one is going to do your step. So your step is not controlled by your door in any way, shape, or form. This is only controlled by this button. So your door won't shut the step. When your door opens, it won't open the step. It's only solely when you have this button pressed. If I shut the door now, the step will stay out unless I press the button and tell it otherwise. Here in the bathroom, you also have your 3-switch panel. So one button is going to do the LED strip above the sink. The second light is going to do just the main singular light on the top of the ceiling. And then your third light is going to do your 4 LED lights in your bathroom, as well as turning on the vent fan. All right, we're going to go back up to the headquarters here. And then now that we went over that section, you can see you got your drinking water tank. So that's just going to tell you your percentage of the tank for your drinking water. Your general water, that's going to tell you how much water you have in your general tank. And then your gray water tank and your black water tank, that's going to be, of course, your shower, your kitchen faucet, and your black water is just going to be your toilet. So, and then right on the right side of it is going to be the 12-volt system. So as we were showing earlier, you could see your 110 breaker box was outside in the compartment. That's if anything flips, pops, or breaks on your microwave, your refrigerator, your television. This is going to be solely for appliances, lights, bathroom, bedroom, everything that has to do with the battery, right? So if anything on the battery side pops, you'll just come up and press these little knobs. They're just little glass fuses that you can twist and pull out of there and see if they're broken or not. And then that pretty much does it for the appliances on that section. Yeah. All right, now you have a few appliances in your bed that we're going to go over here. So if we drop down low a little bit, I'm going to go over to this right side of your bed right here. It's a simple, pretty standard Dometic thermostat that you're going to have in most travel trailers. You have a little knob up here that you flick. You're going to hear it click, and then you change your dial to where you want your temperature to be at, and your furnace is going to come on. It's, your furnace exhaust or wherever is going to come out of right here. So you have this little dual fan blade that'll push air that way, and it's going to push air this way. And then right next to it, this is going to be your hot water heater control. This is for your Fogotti. So there's not much that you have to do. You can see it's when the light and the orange numbers are on, the hot water heater is actually on. So when you press this power button, boom, it's going to turn on. It's in Celsius, and that's because it's built over in, overseas. There's no known way that we can change it into Fahrenheit. So the highest temperature that'll go is 51 Celsius, which is about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's really where you want it to be at. Just the same way any other water heater works, it's going to take a second for the heat to heat up the pipes that the water's running through, so you're not going to have instantly 140 degree temperature. It's going to take at least a minute and a half for the pipes that the water's running through to warm up as well, to make sure that the water coming out of the faucet is hot. So that's that. It runs off propane, 12 volt, not much more you have to do there. And as we look over to the right side of it, you can see your subwoofer. So this is going to be your stereo system side of it. You don't have an actual deck, so there's no radio or anything that you can hook up to. That's just the way these Black Series work. When we pull up the bed, you're going to see a few different compartments. This is going to be the compartment I'm mainly focusing on. The other two are just access compartments for your furnace and your water heater if technicians need to work on them. As we pull this up, you're going to see that you have your amplifier, and you're going to have your subwoofer control, right? So this little knob right here is going to control your subwoofer power, if you want it more, if you want it less, however much. And then if you want to turn the camera down into this little part right here, you can see that little thing is going to be your Bluetooth connection. So when I press this button, blue light should pop up. Let go of it when that blue light starts flashing, and you should be able to connect to it. It's called, all of these Black Series are called Ugreen. So that it'll pop up in your Bluetooth as UGREEN with a few numbers at the end of it. Literally nothing else that has that, so it'll be pretty easily spottable in your Bluetooth list. And then play your music off your phone if you got Pandora or whatever. Yeah. That's that. Alright, and then your stovetop, it's going to be pretty much the same as your exterior. That's exactly the same. You got the same igniter, same buttons. The only difference is since you're inside, if you look up with the camera, you got your fan and you have your lights. So make sure you turn that on before you use your stove. And then also, while we're looking up here, you also have this other light right on the left of it. There's this little button right here. You press that button, that's going to turn on this LED strip across the kitchen. So here, this is why I had the benches taken off, just for overview, so we could kind of look at everything. Underneath one of the benches, you're going to see your actual main battery disconnect, and you're going to see your battery. Don't worry about all these wires and yada yada. This is all just controls for your lights. So this literally controls what switch on your panels control what light. So don't press any of these buttons. Don't mess with any of the stuff down here. Nothing that you got to mess with. Up here you do have some bridge breakers. So your inverter, if it pops from here, this bridge could pop. It could pop from here for your solar panel or your control panel or your towing vehicle. But on your battery disconnect, it's a two-way battery disconnect. So if you want just one, it's going to run just off your battery. If you want 1 and 2, it's going to run battery and inverter. And if you want just 2, it's going to do just inverter. And then right behind it, you got your actual big AGM. I don't know specifically what the size of it is, but it is a big boy. So. And if you bring the camera just a little bit more down here, you're going to see you have this little switch. If you bring the camera back up just a little bit, this little toe kick right underneath your dinette, that's what this switch is going to control. That's how you turn off that blue LED light toe kick. And then if you move your way back to the other side of this dinette, you're going to see underneath the other bench, you have your actual inverter. It says it on the side of it. I'm not 100% certain. Either a 25 or a 2300 watt inverter, which is what comes in a majority of these Black Series. We tell everybody to just keep it on. Nothing that you really have to mess with when you keep it on. You also do have right down here, if you want to come over here onto the bed, this thing right here is just a monitor panel for your inverter. So it's just going to tell you what your AC is getting, what the battery load is, what your battery's at, and how much it's charging. So nothing that you really get to mess with or anything. It's just an overview. It tells you what's happening with the inverter. And as we move our way back, we're going to look underneath the dinette. This is also one more little panel here. This is going to be your solar panel. So it's just going to tell you what your solar is doing, how much it's taking, how much it's getting, how much it's giving to your battery. That's it.